What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Yannis Pappas Hour. How are you these days? Are you getting ready for the holidays? Are you still excited about Christ? Well, you've come to the right podcast. We are now a Christian evangelical podcast who will only be talking about Christ. So before we start, can we start with a prayer? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please protect us from all evil. Please, we thank you for this meal. We thank you for this podcast. We thank you for the ability to be able to speak. Thank you for everything. And thank you for Tesla's new truck, which I really am interested in getting. I think it's bulletproof and made of titanium. I'm interested. We got a lot going on in the news. Seems like climate change is bad. Things are getting really bad. An iceberg floated off. It was it's the size of 3 New Yorks. And British researchers just passed it in the night. 2 ships passed in the night, but one of them was an iceberg. And what they're saying is, oh boy, it's bad. This is the hottest year on record, and carbon emissions continue to increase, but the culprits are China and India. So I expect that little Swedish autistic girl to start screaming in booty, booty, boo, and pota-ta-ta. 2 cyclists in Illinois, a couple ladies, came in gold and silver, and all I want to do is say congratulations, ma'am and ma'am. Also, a kangaroo punched a cop in Canada, and it is front page news up there because that's the news in Canada. The news is, oh my God, somebody cut down my maple tree, or a kangaroo punched a cop, but we were able to contain the kangaroo, and so we're closing the investigation. And that's about it. If it's not Karen Homolka and her boyfriend, Paul Bernardo, being serial killers, it's extremes in Canada. It's either a boyfriend-girlfriend serial killer team, or somebody punched me with a kangaroo punched me, eh? So that's big news in Canada. I just wanted to let you know what was going on north of the border. Our friendly eunuch northern neighbors are having some problems with kangaroos up there. I didn't know kangaroos were in Canada. I thought they were only in Australia. But apparently there are kangaroos in Canada. So in case you were wondering, there's kangaroos in Canada. But we got a lot to talk about, including Sheila Jackson Lee, who is a congresswoman or a former congresswoman, I don't know, but she's running for mayor in Houston. She released an ad where she told voters to vote on the wrong day. So only the best are running for our executive branch high-level positions at this point. Only the best. At the presidential level, we have a walking cadaver who should be in where my mother was, in a memory care facility. We have his the challenger, who's from the Kennedy family, who used to shoot smack off a cooked spoon, and his wife hanged herself. It's in the news. I'm not talking smack. It's in the news. I'm not saying that doesn't reflects on him, but kinda. George Santos is on Cameo, where he belongs. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour. George, I'm going to miss you in Congress. But you're already getting a movie made about you on HBO, because that is how you get famous in this country. You commit a crime, okay? Nobody's making movies about social workers and people who tell the truth. They're uninteresting. It's not what we're about. We like a good liar, a criminal like George Santos, because they're fun and it's who we idolize. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour, where me telling the truth has kept these numbers low.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day belong, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and there's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who, to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
I'm just saying, whether I do it in a comedic manner or not varies from episode to episode. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. Go. This week's past Patreon was also a lot of fun. Sean Terry's plan for world domination, I think everyone really enjoyed. So go to patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. Support this show. I'm just saying, I haven't often been wrong. I don't think. With many things, I'm wrong. I think I end up long-term being more right than wrong. If you feel like I've been wrong, talk about it in the comments. Me asking you to talk about it in the comments has really boosted engagement. I read each and every one of your comments, and I take them to heart. I take your constructive criticism. There's one comment from last episode that was so funny. It was a guy like just lost it. And he's just so upset that the show's not bigger, and he's just looking for reasons that it really was funny. He couldn't contain himself, which was what I hope I can find it. I should have really planned it before. Maybe we'll pause it and we'll find it. Can we pause it and find it?
Under the latest episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, it's very funny because he just lost. He's like, Yanni, I love you. What's going on? He's like, your covers are shit. He's like, look at you. Look at all your friends. He's like, your podcast is better than everybody, but why is it doing low numbers? And he's like looking for all these marketing reasons why it's not doing well. I'll tell you why it's not doing well. I already know.
Was it in all caps?
It might have been in all caps. First of all, it's doing fine. I don't want you guys to think it's not doing fine. It's doing fine. You're comparing it to much bigger podcasts, and we're only on our 20th episode since we rebranded it and said that the other episode from the previous name doesn't count. We just started this. The Yannis Pappas Hour is brand new. But I'm not dismayed, and I also understand why. Because it's not a bubblegum kind of pod. Okay, I can cut deep sometimes on this thing. Sometimes I can piss some people off with some opinions that they hold very strong. Part of the reason why I like this podcast is because we do make fun of sacred cows, and sometimes sacred cows, they baffle me. They baffle me when people care so much about anything, outside of their family or their kids. It really, doesn't it baffle you when someone just like really goes to bat for something that, that they shouldn't care about? Like, for example, I care about things in comedy because I'm a comedian. So if I hear something in comedy, some injustice in comedy, I may get upset because I am in comedy. But if there's something going on, like let's say in the geopolitical sphere or, I care, but not a lot, not too much. I don't care, presidents and stuff like that. I don't lose my lid over it, I'll be honest, even if there's atrocities happening, I mean, it's like, pick your atrocities.
You're not going to hit the streets?
I'm not going to hit the streets because, I mean, there are atrocities happening all over the world, so which one am I going to get mad at? I'll hit the streets if Cold Stone goes out of business. I love Cold Stone. It's the best ice cream going. It's things that affect me.
Yeah.
I'll hit the streets. If pizza becomes illegal, things that are very, very dear to my heart, I'll hit those streets. I'll protest if they try to tax pizza higher or anything like that. Weed, even if, look, Ohio's looking to get rid of homegrown weed and tax more commercial weed to raise revenue, whatever. Probably a lot of people who are growing their own weed or whatever the laws. I know it's just happening there now. People will get upset. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. If they made weed illegal again, I wouldn't care. Principle, I'd say it's bad, but I'm not going to hit the streets for weed. I'm not going to be standing shoulder to shoulder with Dan Soder for weed. You just got to pick what you care about. What people care about, they're not budgeting it anymore. You got to budget what you care about. You really, it's the key to sanity. You have to accept some level of atrocity. I'm not going to hit the streets if someone gets murdered because, hey, that is more true crime content, and I enjoy true crime. I mean, I peruse YouTube, and watch crime. I also like watching CCTV footage of shootings on Twitter. So I'm not going to hit the streets over shootings. I mean, you got to budget it. You got to admit it. You still can't find the comment. It's fine. Maybe we'll pause it later and find it, or maybe we'll go on Patreon and talk about it. Yeah. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. Check it out. But, it's a fun world we live in. And am I upset that George Santos got kicked out of Congress? A little bit, because the show's over. Was I surprised that he immediately got a movie deal on HBO? No, I'm not. Am I surprised he's on Cameo? A little bit. I didn't know that he would go immediately to Cameo, which, by the way, I'm on Cameo. I mean, I think he went to Cameo like the next day. And so now you can order a Cameo from disgraced former congressman from Long Island, George Santos, who let the bullies win. The bullies did win. They bullied him right out. And now he's a professional Cameo guy. Because, look, he knows he's a celebrity, man. I mean, can you name me 4 congressmen right off the top of your head? I don't even know who my congressman is. I know my congressman was some Irish guy, some Democrat who got beat by some Republican, and now I'm represented by some Republican guy.
Your favorite.
Huh?
Your favorite.
Who is it?
Congresswoman.
She's not mine.
No, but she's New York.
She's New York, but I'm up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm up in another place.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, she's not mine.
That's right.
She's not mine. So the guy who represents where I am, that's all I know. And I couldn't tell you either one of their names. I can tell you AOC's name. I can tell you Talib Kweli's name. I can tell you Senator Bob Menendez. And it's all people who really like the limelight. You know what I mean? Not the doers. They're the showers. They're the social media stars. The people who actually get things done are not like flashy, They're not online. They're not hawking like freshman college political ideologies. They know they're in office. They're making things function, and they know that no matter what we do, it's always going to be a combination of things that get things done. You need individual rights, obviously. I guess libertarian individual rights or whatever. I don't think you can call them libertarian. Individual rights. And then you need, in the economy, you're just constantly going to have to, add or detract from free market and social programs. That seems to be the only thing that works. I don't think one is going to work, and I don't think all socialism is going to work, and I don't think all capitalism is going to. You got to balance. Oh, we need a little more stimulus. Okay, we go like this. Otherwise, there's just like nothing for anyone to do, and you're living in a utopia where like you don't need legislators, you don't need economists, you don't need any of this. You just go, we're going full laissez-faire and just to see what happens. We're going to see what happens in Argentina, because I think the only place on the globe that had anything close to a libertarian paradise was Hong Kong, which is no longer theirs. It's no longer the libertarian paradise it used to be. I think you can argue maybe America during the Industrial Revolution was pretty laissez-faire. That didn't turn out great. Had the stock market crash, and it's common sense to know that when you cut any ideology with human nature, you're going to have a mess, because human nature is complicated. Personalities run the gamut, and some people just like to steal. You got 2 types of thieves. You got your weasels and your hyenas. Your weasels hope to not get caught. They steal under the cover of darkness, and they hide. And then you got your maniacal egomaniacs who just feel entitled and think it's theirs, and boldly steal under the paws of another predator and challenge you to confront them. Those are your 2 types of thieves. And they exist, and they always will exist, because it's part of the human condition. So how do you reconcile that with a political ideology? You can't. You're going to need police. There's going to be people doing crime. Because if the only thing that causes crime is poverty, let's just give everyone $100. If Andrew Yang could just get into office, do you think crime will end? No, because people like to have fun. And doing crime is fun. When I look back at some of my best memories as a child, stealing X-Lax out of the fucking Nia guards was exhilarating.
You stole X-Lax?
I stole X-Lax because it was chocolate. It's exhilarating. You ever cheat on a girlfriend? You know, it's exhilarating. Are people going to stop? You know? Some people's dicks get hard when they rob. I had a person tell me that once, that they stole something out of the store and they got an erection. Has nothing to do with them being poor.
That's a weird kink.
It's a weird kink. I don't think he knew about it until he stole, and he just got so excited, you know? You know, Italians, for example, they just like crime a little bit, right? That's mafia. They're just kind of into it. It's kind of in there, robbing a bank. Like Paul Verzi says his fantasy is to rob a bank. He says it's his fantasy. He doesn't know why. He just wants to rob a bank. You know? I mean, let's look at the kid on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Ja?
Yeah, Ja Morant. Is it because he's poor that he likes to show off guns on the Instagram and, you know, talk like a gangster and stuff like that? Is it because of his upbringing? We know it's not. He's got great parents, you know, supportive parents. Some people just are either impressionable or they just are into it. They're just into it. I remember I knew a kid in high school whose father was like a massive celebrity. Couldn't get more famous. He couldn't be more rich. And he just loved crime. He'd get arrested. He'd slash. You know, it's just, some people like it. Some people like it. There's some, just like there's some people who like to have a lot of sex. There's some people who are prude. I mean, it's just, it makes the world interesting. So you're always just going to need like a combination of solutions. There's never one solution. Anytime someone's pitching me an all-inclusive solution, I know it's going to be shit. Just like when you go to an all-inclusive resort. It's going to be shit. It's a buffet, baby. It's shit. The quality's not going to be great. You want quality, you got to pay for it. You know? So we need our George Santoses. Was he poor? Is he poor? No, he's a compulsive liar and he's a sociopath. The funny thing about George Santos is it came down to him being one of the only people where they just kept uncovering lie after lie. It got to the point where they go, okay, there's nothing that's true about this guy. And he got booted out. He got booted out by the GOP, by the House Republicans booted him out.
He was trying to take people down with him, too.
I mean, that's what you got to, you can't go down. You got to go down kicking and screaming.
Yeah, he was going down swinging.
Yeah, imagine one day you wake up, you got your own office, on Capitol Hill, and then the next day you're at home in your underwear doing cameos. And so many of those cameos are just going to be making fun of it, like people getting them.
Yeah.
But he's going to make a lot of money on Cameo because guess what? I'm getting one. If you don't think we're getting a YP hour, you don't think I'm investing $300 in George Santos promoting the Yannis Pappas Hour, where I say, I want to give a shout out to my favorite podcast, the Yannis Pappas Hour, where I've always been supported and believed. I appreciate your support. Here's his... Here is his cameo that was ordered by Representative Fetterman.
The lumberjack.
The lumberjack. You may know him from his Carhartt attire. He ordered one from George Santos and forced George Santos to talk about one of our other favorites, Bob Menendez, who had gold bars in his... Dude, nobody has any principles anymore. Everyone is grabbing whatever chunk they can get left of this dying empire. We're at the point now where a congressman or senator, I can't remember, we're going to find out, just sincerely, he earnestly suggested that we make the migrants become military. in order to gain citizenship. Like, we give them citizenship, but we need them to fight because we don't have any military. We don't need military. We got bombs. Everyone gives Obama a bunch of shit for bombing everywhere, but you have no choice. When you got soldiers who got cell phones and, Diet Coke and Pizza Hut, who the hell wants to fight? They're not fighting for anything. We're spoiled. We don't got soldiers who are willing to sacrifice for heaven. They're like, we got it right here. I don't care what your religion is. A lot of these people who fight for jihad, like, they fight for jihad, and they're willing to die. I don't think so much for the virgins and all that. I think a lot of it is because they're poor. You can get poor people to fight because then you believe in heaven. Like, you can't get Saudi Arabians to fight right now.
No.
They don't want to fight. That's why they're going like, yeah, Israel's bad, but they're like, we're not going to do anything about it because they're loaded. Once you're loaded, once you get a taste of the good life, you don't want to go to war. I remember there was that lip service when Russia and Ukraine broke out, and there was like all these famous boxers were like, we're going to fight. The Klitschko brothers, the other guy who's like he's a littler guy, he's really good. His name is escaping me. And there was all these pictures in military fatigue. And then I just saw he like had another fight recently. Like, they're not really going to go to the front lines,
No. They're poolside in Vegas.
They're poolside in Vegas. They probably took the pictures of them in camouflage poolside in Vegas. Well, one of the Klitschko brothers, I think, is the mayor of Kiev. So maybe he's involved. But, he's not on the front line. They're never on the front lines. I don't buy that Alexander the Great was on the front lines. I just don't buy it. I think the scribe writes that down. But, you die on the front lines. It's like a human meat factory. I think he's on a horse in the back with binoculars. That's what I think. So here is George Santos's cameo. We're going to hear it. I'm watching it for the first time. So this is as exciting for me as it is for you.
Hey, Bobby, look, I don't think I need to tell you, but these people that want to make you get in trouble and want to kick you out and make you run away, you make them put up or shut up. You stand your ground, sir, and don't get bogged down by all the haters out there. Stay strong. Merry Christmas.
How did he get one vote? How did anyone?
Dude, it's Long Island. I think he just hit the buzzwords.
Right.
You hit the buzzwords in Long Island. I mean, Long Island is like it's like Arkansas. I mean, you just got to hit the buzzwords. He was probably like, we're going to get rid of all the illegals. We're going to build a border. We're going to get rid of commies. And that's really it.
And he's got the accent.
Yeah, MS-13 is a thing of the past. And that's it. Nobody's going to be able to dress. Everyone's got to wear jeans that have way too wide of a leg and dress shoes. Everyone's going to get their eyebrows tweezed. And everyone's going to order in either pizza or Chinese in their cul-de-sac. And people in Long Island were going like, that sounds great. And they probably, I'm going to make the Long Island local officials cut taxes because they're always fucking complaining in Long Island about their fucking taxes. Taxes are too high, whatever. Because, it's a pretty right-wing place. So he just hit the buzzwords. I could get elected in Long Island. In fact, I could give you a guide to how to get elected in Long Island. And it's just those things I said. Hit those fucking 3 bangs. No more immigrants. We're going to make a strong wall. We're going to get rid of commies. And MS-13 is a thing of the past. You're done. People in Long Island don't experience the world outside of Long Island. So the world that they experience is filtered through Fox News. So you just hit all of the things on Fox News, the things that they scare you about, that's it. You just go, California is a liberal cesspool. They show you one image of like homelessness on the streets of San Francisco, and then the Long Island brain goes, that's all of California. And then they never will ever enjoy California. Let me tell you something about California. LA may not have any water, but California is one of the most beautiful places you'll ever go with one of the strongest economies going. It's got wine country. It's got, San Francisco, outside of that block, is a pretty dope city. It's not just all one thing happening, right? So like, for example, I'll go to like Spokane, Washington, and a person from Long Island might say like, there's 75 million liberals up there. How did you even survive? It's like, Spokane was awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't even see any purple hair. I'm sure they're there. I'm sure there's a few of them there. You know, it's like going, like, Long Islanders are scared of New York. They won't even come to New York City because they turn on the TV and they're like, crime here, crime there. I'm in New York City all the time. Yes, if you're hanging out in 42nd Street, it's pretty bad. But if you're down at Soho going to one of the best restaurants in the world, you don't feel it, you know. But Long Island, it's very cut and dry. It's all one thing. And George Santos just went up there and he said, New York's a liberal cesspool. California's full of gender changing queer commies. And never mind the fact that I was the drag queen and I'm gay. You just hit the buzzwords and you win. And that's how he got into office. Because they don't want to know, those people don't want to know the truth. They don't want to hear that it was great. They don't want to hear that California's great. They want to believe that what they heard on the TV is true. So you play that game. And that's what Georgie Santos did. But the law caught up to him. The law caught up to him because there's just too many lies. If he hid the drag queen thing, I think he could have maybe still won. The pictures of him as a drag queen were very funny. But it was just lie after lie after lie after lie. And so you eventually just get taken down. But you can't deny.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute.
I don't even think he's an American citizen, man. I think he's like Brazilian. Like, I don't even know how he got in office. But this shows you generally how low our standards have gotten. I mean, you got Sheila Jackson Lee running for mayor in a major economic powerhouse of a city, Houston, where all our oil is. All our oil. And she's running for mayor of Houston, which is a big deal. It's not like running for mayor of Little Rock. She's in Houston. She's running for mayor. She's currently serving in Congress. She puts out an ad on television. So this was edited. She put the wrong date for people to vote on it. She told them to go vote on or before December 7th, when the election is December 9th. She 2 days off.
Whoops.
She told people to go to the polls 2 days early.
My bad.
Now, the whole point of the ad, correct me if I'm wrong, is to convince people to vote. So that should be the focal point. Most people don't know what the date is. You could poll, I bet you 10 out of 10 people in the street couldn't tell you what the date is until they see it, until someone says, this is election day, whatever. So it's important you get that detail right if you want people to go. Like if I'm posting an advertisement for a show and I say, I'm going to be, which I will be, in Louisville, December 15th and 16th. If I say, come see me on December 18th through 19th, that's a big mistake.
Right.
It's a big mistake. But
They might see Sebastian Maniscalco.
it's just a general decline in standard that you can kind of see everywhere because excellence has not been what's being championed recently. What's being championed is equality and diversity, which is great in some way. But what has obviously suffered in general theme and motivation and the standard that people are held by is excellence. And we see it all over the place. I mean, those were two examples I just gave you back to back of people who are in the highest positions of government in the legislative branch who were elected by people making mistakes like that. So if you need any more evidence that it's all burning down, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know where else to look. Because you can look anywhere and find that things are just not going great. And people just are seeming to lose their common sense. Let me tell you something. When I go to a resort, I never get in the water. I don't go in the water. I'll splash a little bit in the salt water very close to the coast. And I do it just for my skin. But I don't frolic or swim in the ocean. You ever like swim in the ocean and the next thing you know, you're over like 4 sections? I don't play with the ocean. I don't play with the ocean. I don't go skiing. I don't go skydiving. I don't go to top of buildings. I'm not going to climb on buildings. I'm not climbing mountains. I'm not doing any of the stuff that stereotypically it seems like white people like to do. It's always white guys doing it. It's always a white guy scaling the New York Times building for no reason. Well, we had another woman, a New England woman, who was at a Bahamas resort and she got killed by a shark. Yeah. Just don't go in the ocean. Just a pool. It's the same reason. Look, there's an easier way. Everyone used to go get trees and, you know, you'd go take the tree. Your whole house smells like sap. You know, there's freaking pine needle, whatever. There's like the things everywhere. Your house is a mess. You got to go get it. You got to carry it on your back. You got to bring it to your house, put it on your car. And then China gave us a better option. They said, here's a plastic tree, and everyone's getting plastic trees. Which one's better for the environment? Who cares? I haven't done a real tree in 20 years, and I haven't been happier. It goes in the closet, it comes back out, and then I take a little evergreen spray, and I freaking spray in the living room, and I say to my family, Merry Christmas. Welcome to an easier way. That's what a pool is. A pool is the plastic tree version of the ocean. Hop in it. Hop in it, dog. There's no sharks in the pool. It's man-made. Everything man-made is better. So just go with it. This woman is now dead because she was paddleboarding in the ocean. There's sharks in the ocean. Let me just explain to you. Animals do not respect our rights. They don't respect our rights. They're the biggest terrorists of all time. And this woman's now gone. The Patriots lost a fan today. As a New England woman, a 44-year-old woman, I hate to make light of it, but it's like, until they can get this shark thing under control, it's like, I don't buy it. Like, you know, when people say, they always try to like, I don't buy it. I don't buy when people say the bear is more scared of me than I am of the bear. I don't buy it when people say sharks don't usually attack humans. You have to be bleeding for them to attack. I'm like, they're in there. I'm not going in there. I'm not going to take the risk. Yes, only one person gets killed a year out of all these people that could get killed, but I'm not doing it. I mean, I don't know why people do it. I mean, we won't even have a 13th floor in the building, but people are going to go in the ocean. Just stay out of the ocean. Maybe the shark was a Giant fan. The joke was there. I took it. I mean, the odds of being killed by a shark are about 1 in 4.3 million. Well, that's the story about the one. You want to take the risk? When there's a pool, every resort has a pool. Just go in the artificial water and you avoid shark attacks. Is swimming in the ocean that big of a deal?
All you got to do is make sure you're next to someone else. So if the shark comes, you just push that person into the shark.
That's a good plan. That's why I always bring my wife into the ocean with me. You're going to a resort to have a fake experience anyway. Why are you going to have a real experience? You're going in there to the Bahamas, pretending like the Bahamas could afford this without tourism, right? You go into a resort. It's not the Bahamas. You're at the beach. Anyone who goes to the Bahamas is not experiencing the real Bahamas. Because if you're experiencing the real Bahamas, you know, you'd be experiencing some other experiences. You're at a resort. You don't leave the resort. You're eating food that is not Bahamas food, or else they'd hand you some, I don't know, fucking cooked dog or whatever. I don't know what they eat in the Bahamas. I know when I was on Aruba, they told me the locals eat dogs because there's all these stray dogs. But Aruba's a great island. But the cab driver told me, he's like, yeah, we eat dogs. And I was like, he's like, they're all over the place. So I don't know. I'm just saying you're not going to get chicken tikka masala in the Bahamas like you can in the buffet at Atlantis. So Why not just continue that fake experience by getting in a fake body of water and just fucking waddling around with your fat body and your you know, you're not a surfer. Stay out of the ocean. They all got pools. In fact, I think that's what pools were made for. Pools were made to be like, hey man, let's stay away from the sharks. We lost a good woman today. I apologize to her family. But I would use this as a cautionary tale. And I would try to convince everybody to just stay in the pool and not go in the ocean. That's all. Don't fly. Drive. It's bad for the environment. Those are the three biggest things that they say are bad is planes, China, and India. How come you never hear anyone screaming at China and India?
They should.
Is it because they're not European?
Because they know what's going to happen.
China and India are the worst offenders for carbon emissions. How do you curb those giants? That's the problem.
Go to China, try to have a climate protest.
They're just not going to, they're not going to receive her very well. What's her name again? Greta Thunberg. They're not going to receive her very well.
I'd like to watch it.
But that's the irony of it is like, I mean, what are people going to do? Not fly? Till they figure out something else, people are going to fly. And what are you going to do? Tell China and India they both have 1 billion people and they're industrialized now. What are you going to tell them? To go back to poverty? You're not. So it's like that's why it's like what I'm saying is climate change is a problem, obviously. But until they come up with another solution, yelling about it, I mean, the yelling about it should be going, fund more like alternative solutions and just do it. This whole gluing yourself to the floor, throwing paint on a painting in a museum isn't going to do anything. Just like protesting a falafel restaurant in Philadelphia isn't going to do anything. So there was a massive pro-Palestine protest in the heart of the IDF headquarters in Center City, Philadelphia, where a Jewish falafel store came under fire. They threw rocks at the window. They posted all these Free Palestine stickers. They chanted, Goldie, Goldie, we know you're inside. We charge you with genocide. The guy was probably going, dude, I make falafels. Very hard to argue that this is solely about the IDF and Israeli government policy towards the Palestinians when protesters in large numbers show up outside outside.
What's going on there? A little glitch?
Yeah, a little glitch in the matrix. This was part of the Flood Philly for Gaza demonstrations. Again, it's Philadelphia. It's Philly. All they care about is cheesesteaks and the Eagles. They vandalized the front windows of the restaurant, placing stickers on the doors and windows. What does this accomplish? Besides people having to go out and remove the stickers. What? And then the next day, a bunch of people went and supported the restaurant. So it didn't even achieve what maybe they wanted to achieve, which is like boycotting a place that may have an Israeli inside. There's an Israeli inside or a Jewish person inside. What? That's like saying if Greece goes to war, you're going to protest my comedy. I live in America. What do you want me to do about it? You know? What are you going to do? Protest a person in Tel Aviv? Just some guy who's Israeli? What's he doing? Right? But then they say, oh, the other side's targeting civilians. Well, so are you. Well, so are you. Of course, it's different. It's not the level of atrocity. But it makes me think, if you had the power, what would you do? Right? So you're protesting outside of some falafel store. You're a protester in America. The cops will stop you, you know. But if they didn't and you had guns, what would you do? Would you go in there and get some retribution for genocide? Perhaps you would, because that's human nature, right? That's human nature. I'd like to believe they wouldn't, but my time on the planet says maybe. People get worked up in a mob. Things happen. So how are you claiming the moral high ground? Is that thought out? We're going to go really make a difference by protesting at a falafel store? It's just harassment. It kind of just is cruel for no reason. And also just senseless, like not tactical at all on a very practical level. Even if you are for the cause and you want to stop innocent Palestinians from getting bombed, I don't know how that helps. I don't know what falafels have done. I just don't know what falafels have done. But we're gonna put a stop to tahini. So there it is. Goldie, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Did you guys just do it because someone came up with the rhyme? You're charging the fucking restaurant in Philadelphia with genocide? Do you see how people don't think when they get worked up in emotion? Like they just don't think. I've said it on the podcast. It's like they just don't think. How are any of these chants of river to the sea going to help ordinary Palestinians? Do you think the Israelis are going to go, oh, okay, we'll leave? Doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense to me and to everybody else is that the FDA has finally approved an anti-aging dog medication for big breed dogs. So a lot of people with families who insist on getting pure breed big dogs, which I am morally against. I just don't think they should keep breeding these dogs to be purebreds. Although I did enjoy the dog show that I watched on television. It is fun to watch these pure breeds and how beautiful they are. But they have all types of health problems that comes with being a pure breed. And they don't really use these dogs unless they're using the dogs for a job. It's like, can we cut down on the breeding of them? Mutt dogs are great, dude. Like they live longer. They don't have the health problems. Like why are we smushing in the face of a bulldog? They're not fighting anymore. And if you found out why their face is smushed in, it's like when you tell someone why a dog likes a squeak in a toy, It's just they're like, what? And it's like, yeah, it's a death rattle. They're dogs. It's like when you bring someone with, you force someone to face the reality, It's like, yeah, no, you gotta treat your dog like a dog. That's what it wants. People are like, what are you talking about? It's a family member. It's like, it is a family member, but it's also a dog. He wants to be treated like a dog. And when you tell someone about why a bulldog has a smushed in face, it's because they used to fight him. And if there's no nose, there's less to bite. They can't, and as a result, they can't breathe. So the poor animal is tortured every night. Sounds like me without my mouthpiece, trying to sleep. It's like listening to John Candy take a nap. And people keep buying them because they're cute. And it's not good. If you're a dog lover, it's not good. So here they are creating another, Band-Aid on a problem without fixing the cause. The cause is breeding. And a lot of those dogs get put down because a lot of them don't get purchased or bought. What do you do with all the dogs that you breed? There's 7 to a litter. It's and there's all these dogs in shelters and stuff. Just adopt, don't shop. I'm taking a stand. So this is for those big pure breed dogs, right? So this is for your Ridgebacks and your Great Danes. So the goal is to extend their midlife, their healthy years before aging really sets in for these big dogs. Creators of the drug say it will be affordable and hit the market by 2026. Don't have a dog? This is still a big deal. This would be the first time an anti-aging drug ever got FDA approval. The hope is if it works well for dogs, a similar class of drugs could help humans extend our lives as well. That's what we need. Again, I'm saying that, but when that drug comes out, give it to me.
You're going to be front of the line for that one.
But these drugs always come with a consequence.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
nothing's free.
Yeah.
So your pancreas will fall out of your ass.
Right. You're going to lose a ball.
Yeah, you'll have a longer life, but it'll be more miserable. It'll make you sick in some other way. There's no way to beat nature. There's only ways to contain it. Maybe this just contains it, though. Maybe this contains it. The FDA approved it. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the massive upside in profit that this is going to have.
Oh, that's a game changer. Dude, crazy.
Dude, everyone is going to run to buy this because they love their dogs.
Oh, I'm talking about the humans.
What?
When it's ready for humans.
Oh, everyone's going to do it.
Everyone on the planet.
Yeah, but just for dogs. Everyone's going to run out. They love their dogs.
I would do it for my dog.
Yeah, you do it for your dog in a second. He needs it right now.
Yeah, I think I'm too late, though, huh?
You might, midlife. So you start giving it to him in midlife. You start taking it, it probably takes a while. It's like, hair plugs. It takes a while. It's a long process.
You got to plan ahead a little bit. Yeah.
We're all fighting nature. Isn't it funny how we fight like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill? You look at Madonna, she's like, she's doing everything she can to look a couple years younger. We're all fighting nature. Yeah. At this point, she just full on looks like a burn victim. I mean, it's uncomfortable.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it depends on the angle with her.
Right.
It depends on the angle. But yeah, I mean, that's what she looks like now. Just swollen, not a wrinkle on her face. 2016, she was still looking decent. 2023 is full on. It looks like she's got a mask on. But let me ask you a question. If you were going to bang a 65-year-old woman, are you going to bang a natural 65-year-old woman or Madonna? So that's why she does it. That's why she does it. Because it kind of is effective. Right? Jane Fonda.
If you're going to bang a 90-year-old woman.
Jane Fonda is 88, I believe. And she just put out a statement admitting to the fact that she wants to take a 20-year-old lover.
Really?
Gen Z, do it for the story. Do it for the story. You may have to blow a few cobwebs off that thing. But somebody needs to step up and do this for all the bros out there so they can have a great story for a podcast. She's only interested, she said, in young lovers because she doesn't like old skin.
85.
She's 85. She doesn't like old skin. Well, let me tell you something, sweetheart. You got old skin. But, I mean, she looks good.
She's pulled back, dude.
Dude, she looks good. That's good work done. Compliments to the chef.
Oh, yeah.
She's had good work done. You seen Cher?
Yeah.
Cher's had good work done.
Oh, yeah, because without the work, I mean, she's going to look like the crypt keeper.
Yeah, without the work, she's going to look like a witch on a broomstick. Also, the short hair helps. You got to cut the hair. The long hair makes you look like a witch when you get older. You got to go short haircut. So, yeah.
Dude.
Every older woman goes short haircut, and you told me why, because someone told you that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
That happened.
You don't want to have a guy see you from behind,
right?
Tap on your shoulder.
It's the look of disappointment when you turn around.
It's a look of disappointment when you turn around after you see long hair.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just throwing in the towel and letting everybody know when I turn around, I will be 60 over. I don't want to see the look of disappointment when you tap me on the shoulder because you saw long hair and you expect, and it's kind of true. It's kind of true.
Yeah. That must be soul crushing.
Yeah, because it makes you look older because young long hair is affiliated with youth, and so yeah, if you see them from behind, when you see them from the front, you can't mistake them for a younger person, but from behind, you can mistake them for a younger person. Right. So women cut the hair so they don't do this, and when they turn around. It's Martha Stewart looking good. Short haircut. Everyone goes short haircut when they get older if you're smart. Short haircut. You don't want to have long flowing locks. Now, she's in her 70s, right?
No, she's older, dude.
She's 80?
I think she's in her 80s, yeah.
She looks great. She looks great. All those stock tips really helped her pay for the top-of-the-line beauticians in Westchester County. I think she lives in Bedford. She's 82 years old. She may be the best-looking 82-year-old woman going. She looks great. Cher is late 70s. Cher looks amazing. And Cher is 77. She looks amazing, dude. Crazy. She looks a little surprised.
Permanently.
But the work is still good for a 77-year-old woman.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks good. And her boyfriend keeps her young. What?
No, did you see Dolly Parton during the halftime show?
Yeah, she couldn't move.
Yeah, but did you see
She
what
was just doing this to dance.
And the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfit she was wearing?
Yeah.
Oof.
Let's pull that up. But she also, for an 80-year-old woman, looks good. Dolly Parton. We have really figured out a way to push it.
Science coming a long way.
Yeah, science coming a long way. She looks great.
She does. Except when you saw her from the side, you know.
Flat ass. She's got a, yeah.
She got old person ass.
Yeah, she got an old person ass. It just, age just pops it. But she may never have had a butt. She's Dolly Parton. I don't think butts were in when butts only recently came in, like in the 2000s.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they weren't. Nobody was doing squats at the gym building butts. It was like maybe the Kardashians did that or something. But when the whole fitness craze came, she was, her era was, there was no fitness craze. You look at all the movie stars, Raquel Welch and all them, they didn't have big butts.
Actually, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda
She had those workout tapes. She kind of brought it in.
Maybe she brought it in a little bit. She was so beautiful when she was younger.
Yeah, Barbarella.
She was a beautiful, beautiful girl. So, in conclusion, get your work done, swim in the pool, do everything artificial, take your anti-aging drugs, fly on your planes. Just whatever mankind has created is better than the alternative. Guys, come see me live in Louisville next weekend, December 15th and 16th at the Louisville Comedy Club. Portland, January 11th, Vancouver, January 12th, San Francisco, February 9th and 10th, Atlanta, February 15th through the 17th, San Antonio, February 23rd and 24th, the Vic Theater in Chicago, March 8th, Toronto, March 23rd, Cleveland, March 29th and 30th, Tulsa, April 5th and 6th, Kansas City, April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets at YannisPappasComedy.com. Want to give a shout out to Jared Z, ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. If you're moving your car out of state or you bought it out of state, hit up ExclusiveAutoShipping.com for a free quote. Student and military discounts apply. If you're doing it and you listen to this pod, that's where you go. Also, Chris Minetti. This is where you go if you need a business check cashed. And you call him at 215-750-3730. And you got to be in the Philly, South Jersey area. It's a local ad. It's a local ad by an individual. Chris Minetti, Minetti Financial Services in Philly. Then for the free .art is all things music in Hawaii, my friends. It's an organization dedicated to providing artists from Hawaii a place to develop their craft. Go support them. DisplayPros.net will also do a good job for you. All these places do a good job. They will build you a custom trade booth and retail fixtures and promotional items like you have no idea. Just tell them I sent you. You get 10% off your first purchase. That's what you do. They'll work with you to make sure you're completely satisfied with your purchase, and they won't rest until you're happy. Also will do a great job for you is Ma Insurance Services in the St. Petersburg, Florida area. It's a local insurance company, you know, but can you get it anywhere? Can I get Ma Insurance Services for my house up in New York State?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Go to MaInsuranceServices.com or call up Matthew Albani at 813-260-0338. And they're doing great. They do commercial insurance policies, workers' compensation, commercial property, auto, professional liability, general liability, and umbrella plans. So if it's raining out, get yourself an umbrella plan at MaInsuranceServices.com. Capper Tack. Do you keep loading money into your FanDuel or DraftKings account week after week? Do you get your local bookie knocking at your door every Monday looking for his money? Stop losing money bets on sports, guys, and start investing. CapperTech has all the sports betting tools and content you need to help you win. They use machine learning AI to simulate game results based on all the information and give you the best betting advice possible. It's 100% free, no BS. Go to CapperTech.com or download the CapperTech app at the App Store or Google Play Store. It's the only sports betting advice Sean, Terry, and all of Ladder 14 uses to smoke their bookies. Rebels Raider. Love this company. Rebels-Raiders.com. 100% real deal tactical gear for your everyday. Okay? For your everyday carry, outside activities, hiking, running, training, hopping on a plane, whatever you want. There's backpacks, packs, pouches, high-end tactical backpacks used for your everyday. I love this guy. He wants to make a lot of money so he can get a Lamborghini and light it on fire to prove how pointless this all truly is. It's my favorite line from any sponsor I've ever gotten. So let's help this guy get a Lamborghini because I would love to see him blow it up and make a video of him showing us how stupid this all really is. So this guy started this company, and it's amazing. And he's sending us gear. I can't wait. Did you give him the address? We'll give him the address.
Rebelsraiders.com.
Rebels-Raiders.com.
Oh, we got a new one.
And we got a new one. They got a Substack. It's called Thinking Man. The website link is thinkingman.substack.com. It's a New York-based newsletter that publishes articles, essays, and thoughts on things like books, movies, pop culture, and politics. I like this. Our goal is to, you guessed it, help people start thinking again. I like this. Think for yourself. That's their goal, is to get people to think for yourself. Perfect podcast for this. Don't just take whatever the mainstream media says, your boss, your mom, or Yannis Pappas says is truth. I agree. I agree. I am here for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Agree or disagree with me. You're here to disagree, and that's fine. And a lot of times I get things wrong. I see it in the comments, and I should be doing more editorial retractions. I really should, because that should be part of the show, is when people tell me I'm wrong. And you can read the comments and go see. And a lot of times they're right. So join Thinking Man. Subscriptions are free or $5 a month if you're feeling generous. So it's free if you want. And if you want to, if you love them and you want to show your support, just give them $5. So it's at Thinking Man, all one word, or search the link, thinkingman.substack.com. I'm definitely checking them out.